I like MJ GetRight. I mean, he's one of the very few teachers. I mean, he is a teacher. You know, he's giving advice and stuff. He's one of those very few teachers that have it wrapped up, that have all three, categories, especially as a man. Um, and I'm talking like physically taken care of, financially taken care of, and emotionally taken care of. Like most teachers are missing most of that, or they don't have none of that. You know, um, most guys that are cerebral, that wouldn't mind getting to open discussions, topics. Most guys that like to talk a lot. Most guys that don't mind talking, because he does talk a lot. For part of teaching, you have to talk, like talking a lot. Most guys that talk a lot, they're full of themselves too much. They just don't have it all wrapped up. They're not all wrapped up emotionally, especially. They're not wrapped up physically, especially. They still doing little bits of bullshit here and there. They're not complete followers of the word. You know, the message that they say might be good, but the problem is you're not inspired to follow their message. You don't feel their message doesn't come on, it doesn't have as much strength as a person that seems to have themselves really taken care of well together, like a role model, I want to say. Now, every teacher is a good role model. You know what I'm saying? They know what they're saying, but they're just full of themselves. They're just full of it, to be honest. So he, because it's hard to be a good teacher, man. It's really hard. You know, it's really hard to be a good teacher because most of us think, well, I just got to know the message. Knowledge is one thing, but wisdom is another. You know what I'm saying? Like you know a lot because to be a teacher, you have to know the material. But I swear to God, that's not even a third of the battle. It's not even a quarter of the battle. It's just what it is. It's no, I mean, yes, to be a good teacher, you have to know what you're talking about, but that's not even really it, to be honest. That's like 1%. But to be honest, I'm gonna dare say that it's 0% of being a good teacher. If I'm really gonna come down to like, well, it's a fourth of being physically taken care of, a fourth of being emotionally, financially, and then knowing what you're talking about. You could say that, but I don't even want to put it, it's not even equal to all those things. The message is not even equal to the messenger. You know what I'm saying? The message is not as strong as the messenger. The messenger behind the message is really going to have an impact on how well that message is received and how far it goes. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it's going to take. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a good messenger. I'm not. But, you know, I can give some information here and there and you take it with a grain of salt. I'm just not going to get as much um feedback as I want. I'm not going to get as good as feedback. It's not going to hit as much people, but it's going to hit somebody. It's going to hit the people that are most likely in my similar position. You know what I'm saying? But that's the problem. It's not going to hit as much people. But regardless, you know, the messenger is more powerful than the message is being told. Of course, you gotta know some of what you're talking about, but more than likely, if the messenger is taken care of, well taken care of, they gotta know something. They have to know something. Because here's the thing, like, if I'm looking at somebody that's well taken care of, they got everything taken care of in life, and I'm lacking a lot of those things. Obviously, I want to know, well, how did they get there? What do they do to live this lifestyle? How do they make themselves look so great? How do they make themselves feel so great when they wake up in the morning and when shit goes bad? How do they make themselves, how did they get that money? How did they, have that mindset to, go out there and really get that money? You know what I'm saying? I could add mentally, because emotionally is different from mentally. Mentally is like, where work ethic and stuff like that. So you can replace financially with mentally. You could say that. Um, but financially just goes hand in hand because that's the one thing that, hey, money's not is not the most important thing in the world, but it's definitely a sign of how serious you take things. Seriously. Now, obviously, if you're out there trapping, you're getting money the dirty way, well, that shows you still have that mindset to go get it. You know what I'm saying? But maybe emotionally, you just want to get it fast. You just want to get it easy. You want to take the risk. Well, obviously, you're not smart about what you're doing. You don't make the smart decisions. So, again, I could say mentally, because if I say, well, mentally, well, obviously, your mindset isn't right. You're trying to go out here and just make it that way. And I'm not knocking nobody that had, they had to trap, just to get by. I mean, I'm not knocking you for that. But I'm saying it's when you say that that's the only choice. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go out there and try and find a better way, because obviously, if life is if life is one big road with lots of signs on both sides, and you're gonna make up your mind to face reality all the time, you're gonna realize the reality of trapping is gonna get you killed, in jail, a victim of robbery. You're at a very high risk, especially if you want to rap about it. You know what I'm saying, and all that stuff. You're gonna end up getting caught with your lyrics. They're doing that stuff now, or it's just gonna kill you. Whatever. If you're an addict, if you're addicted to the drugs too, you know what I'm saying. But I shouldn't even say drugs. But if you're just staying in that, because I'm not gonna lie, I was in that scene, and shoot, sometimes I still think about hitting a J or two here and there. But what's the point? If, especially right now, I ain't taken care of fully. And especially when I've already been there and done that, you know what I'm saying? Like, why go back there? And especially when I know that I'm not physically strong enough, mentally strong enough to just, all right, well, I'm gonna take a hit here and there. And no, I know mentally I'm still addicted to it, but this is neither here nor there, But this is just the example of what I'm talking about. The messenger is more powerful than the message. It has no magnitude equal to the messenger, the message. It's not equal. It's just not even on the same level. Because anybody can tell me anything. Anybody can read. You see, to teach, everybody wants to be a teacher. Everybody teaches low key. Everybody's a teacher. If you like it or not, low key, subtly, everyone's a teacher. Because we all have expectations of how things should be done. We set expectations for ourselves, but obviously our environment, we only surround ourselves with with the environment likewise. That's just naturally how we are. So when we see other people in our environment not doing the same thing, well, obviously it's gonna affect us, right? It doesn't matter. Like, you're gonna either go out there and try to make a difference with other people, or you're gonna surround yourself with a different environment. But either way, you low key expect things to be a certain way. So those expectations will turn to questions. Well, why isn't this person doing this? Why aren't they doing that? You might ask them. But low key, we're all teachers in our head. You know what I'm saying? But it just takes it to go out there and really go out there and try and make a difference in people. Try to re-educate people. That's what really makes a teacher officially a teacher. You know what I'm saying? We all want to go out there and teach. Anybody could just pick up a book and find a fact. That's all it is. Teaching is just telling a fact to someone else. That's all it really is. Telling the fact to somebody else. I could go in the Bible right now and teach you everything that I know. I could tell you, okay, God created the earth in 6 days. 7th day he rested. First day it was all darkness. He created man on you got me now. The 5th day, you know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, it was, because the 4th day he created the sun, the moon, the stars. The 5th day he created man, and the 6th day he created the beast, or whatever it was, and then, the 7th day he rested. Anybody could teach me all that. Or better yet, no, let me go to a better example. Anybody could teach me that patience is key. Patience will get you in life. Okay? But then they get frustrated at me asking a question that they think I should already know. Well, how patient are you? You see what I'm saying? What you're saying is true, but right there and then, I don't feel that patience. You know what I'm saying? Now, if someone told me that, if someone was teaching me something, telling me something about patience, patience and all the fruits of the Spirit, but this person really exhibits these things, I'm going to have a lot of questions. I'm going to form a lot more questions of like, how? Well, how do you do it? I'm going to want to know, well, how do you do it? Because I see it in you. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, the message is not, it's just not going to hit if the person doesn't exhibit those things. Or at least a willingness to exhibit those things. Whatever the case may be. But most guys that teach go out there and try to give instructions, especially like in MJ's case on getting chicks and getting women. Most of these guys, I still see them doing things. See, the other thing about being a teacher is you have to be separate from everybody else. You can't be just like everybody else. You have to be different. You know what I'm saying? Because to be a teacher is it's a very important job that people take. It's taken very lightly by students. They don't appreciate the teachers, but then by the teachers themselves. They don't really. It's just for a job. It's just for the money. It's just for the views. It's just for no. A teacher really wants to go out there and first they gotta, to be a teacher. First you have to be a student, of course. So they had to be willing to practice these things that they're teaching to a point. They have to want to practice these things, and then once they have it and they achieve it, they have to feel a desire to go out there and make a change. But it's not, well, oh, I just want to do this because it's easy or because, I like doing it. No. You have to be a practice. You have to practice doing what you did first before you can go out there. Some people really like to teach, but they don't really like to practice what they're teaching. Hence why, especially, God, we all know it, a lot of the teachers that, they teach, like, they know what they're talking about. They probably know how to get people to listen to what they're saying. But at the same time, though, like, I don't like being around you. That's one of the hardest things. To be a teacher, I have to like listening to your message. I have to like being around you. Now, MJ is not perfect. Of course, he can come off as, he can come off in certain ways that rub you the wrong way. That's just how it is. Not saying he's perfect. That's just how it is. So, he might kind of rub you off the wrong way with some of his things. He might sound misogynistic. He might sound this and that. But I'm just saying, like, to really be a good teacher, I'm just using him as an example. To be a really good teacher, you have to really go out there, and people have to really feel inspired by you. Now, MJ, he got some things to work on, and that's just the things I'm highlighting right there. Because a true teacher, they're not going to come off as that. Now, they're going to come off as blunt and rough. I think that's what I think. Now, of course, everybody's, a lot of people are going to have wrong opinions. They might say, oh, we're being misogynistic. It could be like a feminist that thinks, oh, what you're saying is wrong, this and that, or whatever. So, I gotta know the full story as well as to what people are saying about him. But, sometimes the things that he says, sometimes I'm like, whoa, come on now. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, though, the point is that you have to be willing to, grow, make a difference. So he's not a perfect teacher. He's not the best teacher. But what I'm saying is the results of what he's teaching, though, what he's teaching, he practices it. And he's very good. He gets those results. You know what I'm saying? That's really the main point that I'm talking about. Now, obviously, if he was teaching us about, well, how to be a more caring person, how to be a friend to man, no, we're not going to get that. How to be a good role model, we're not going to get that. We're just going to get how to be a great so forth and so. But that's just that part. Just, I had to clear that up a bit. Cause I know some people were probably going to, whoa, But, yeah, to be a good teacher, man, like, to be a good messenger, to have a good message behind them. To really have an effective message, you have to really be a good messenger. You have to have yourself physically taken care of, financially taken care of, mentally taken care of, emotionally taken care of. That's going to speak out more than what you're saying. What we see in the person that doesn't necessarily, we might not even be listening to what you're actually saying. What you are right now is what I really want to be. That is what teaches the most. Teaching without words is what I call it. That's what it is. That's a real teacher.